Welcome back to another episode of Plant-Based Dads. I'm Joey.
And I'm Tim.
Let's start the episode off by thanking our financial supporters, PayPal and Patreon supporters. Without them, we would not have a show. If you've ever thought about how can I help, how can I be part of the team here, you can help by being a financial supporter. There's a link in the description below how you become a Patreon or PayPal member. And they do get the videos up to 48 hours early, and there's some other private content there. I mean, all safe for work, but that's the thing.
And so, and you guys who comment, that's much appreciated as well. I know you like that interaction.
Yeah, thank you very much for all that.
All right, Joey, it is November. We are moving into the holiday season for sure.
We are. Okay. Which means the end of the school semester's coming.
All right, so on the Thanksgiving note, we have a lot of videos showing some solutions in the past years for Thanksgiving. So do some searches or consider some of those. They are delicious.
Yeah, the green bean casserole, the stuffing, all that stuff. Like, we're not going to make that again this year. I think this year what we want to do for Thanksgiving is just go out to a Friendsgiving type of thing, a vegan thing. Maybe just film what's happening, right?
Yeah.
So, but for today's video, what are we doing today?
Okay, something that's been on your mind is getting enough fiber in the day. So we came up with a vegan muffin.
Bran Muffin. Yep, vegan protein Bran Muffin. So, for you, those of you normal people who are Tim's height, 5'9", 5'11", whatever, and higher, you don't have a crazy small low metabolism like I do. My BMR is like 1,300 by the time I exercise and all that. I eat about 1,400 calories a day, and in that almost all my calories go to protein because I have no choice because I'm trying to get at least 100 grams of protein, and on a vegan lifestyle, all of our food is just full of calories and carbohydrates. So, and I love carbohydrates. I'm not giving those up, but I need to get my protein in. So I can't always get all the fiber and roughage, right?
Such a big deal.
It is.
Yep.
It is. And I need to get that. Like, I have to be regular, right? So, I get in Bran where I can, and I monitor my fiber every day to get at least like 75 grams of fiber every day. And one of the ways I do it, it's with Bran Muffins, right? We've been making these Bran Muffins for a while. They're so good. And they're actually pretty simple. We are putting some vital wheat gluten in it to up the protein a little bit. We're using the wheat bran, and
we're using some applesauce.
Applesauce for sure, right, to hold together. I mean, it's completely vegan.
But you guys, this really is good. It's moist. It is kid approved. Lex has been eating these, so that's always good to see, right? So we got a winner here.
He does slap a bunch of that Miyoko's butter on it, but there's that, right? Okay. So, all right, so we're going to show you what we've done here. The muffins come out absolutely gorgeous. You got to make this recipe. When you see this, you'll see what I mean. Let's get to the food. All right, let's get started with our protein wheat bran muffins. And the first thing we're going to need is a bowl. We're going to combine all the dry ingredients, so let's get started. I'm starting with 1 cup or 58 grams of wheat bran. You can use whatever wheat bran you have, or you can ground up some bran cereal. Next, I've got 1 cup or 120 grams of whole wheat flour. You can use all-purpose too if you'd like. To that, I'm adding half a cup or 96 grams of zero-calorie brown sugar. I'm using this Swerve brown zero-calorie sweetener to keep the calories down. You can use brown sugar if you want. It's just going to add calories to it. Next, we're adding in 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And then just a pinch of salt, I'm going to put in 1/8 of a teaspoon. Now I'm going to give this a little whiskey to get it all combined. I'm going to get all my dry ingredients really nice and thoroughly blended together here. And then we'll add the wet ingredients. I want to make sure this has one solid color, kind of this light brown color. All right, depending on how fine your wheat bran is, you may have some little lumps, and that's okay because my bran is lumpy, but there you go. For my wet ingredients, I'm adding 1/2 cup of unsweetened applesauce. I'll make sure I get all that in there. That's going to hold it together. All right, there you go. Next, I'm adding 1 1/4 cups of organic soy milk. Silk organic soy milk here. It's higher in protein, so there you go. I've got 1 1/4 cups there. That's 1, and there's my 1/4. I'm also adding 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed. This is just the Whole Foods brand. There you go. And then finally, I'm adding 1 1/2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. There you go. All right, now I'm just going to take my spatula and mix this all together until I get a batter. Oh man, check that out. The bran, the flaxseed, so much good stuff in there. It's going to be really good. All right, you can see here we've got a beautiful bran batter here. This is going to be perfect. I can't wait to get these ready to eat. So I'm going to finish this up here. We're going to grab some muffin tins. We're going to set the oven at 350 degrees, and we're going to start tinning this up. All right, I almost forgot the most important part, the vital wheat gluten. This is 40 grams or about 1/2 cup. of vital wheat gluten, this is what's going to give it the protein. I specifically omitted part of the flour so I can add this this vital wheat gluten. So I'm going to make sure I get that nice and combined also. I thought it was a little runny looking. All right, that's much better. You can see here that it's definitely coming together as an actual dough. That makes sense. All right, I'm going to get this mixed up, and then we'll start pouring it into our tins. The vital wheat gluten is the protein part. That's what brings it up. I mean, the milk does also, because it's the soy milk, but this is really the boost for the protein. Without it, the calories really aren't worth eating. It's still going to make you regular, which is amazing, but you really need the little extra protein boost from this for it to be worth it. And like I said, I'm just replacing part of the 1.25 cup. I'm just replacing part of that flour with vital wheat gluten. That's how I came across. Well, that's how I came up to this right here. All right, looking good. Let's get going. All right, I've got my muffin pan here. I did a shot of spray oil, and then I used the brush to kind of move it all around to make sure everything gets covered. I know it looks like there's a gallon of spray oil on here. That's not the case, but I did spread it around so it's on everything. This does make 9 muffins, so I'm going to spread this evenly into 9 of the tins. All right, now at this point, if you want, you can sprinkle some nuts or chocolate chips or any of that stuff on top. For the macros I'm giving you, I'm just doing it this way. And plus, if I put nuts on here, Lex isn't going to eat it. I would love it, but Lex isn't going to eat it. So I'm just going to make them this way as a base recipe, and then you can change it to fit your style. We're going to bake these at 350 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes. We'll do the old stick a toothpick in, and when they come out clean, they're done. Let's get them into the oven. All right, these are really hot. They just came out of the oven. But oh my gosh, look at these. These are absolutely beautiful. They've firmed up, they've risen, they're beautiful. I'm going to take a toothpick. I already did this, but you know when they're done while they're in the oven if you just do this and it comes out and there's nothing on the toothpick. So, and I can tell. They're like bouncing back, so I know they're done. I'm going to let these cool at room temperature, then we'll cut one open and see what it looks like. Look how amazing these turned out. Are these absolutely beautiful or what? Oh my gosh, I can't wait to dig into this. I'm going to cut one of these open, look how the texture looks inside. I mean, they smell amazing. Let's move this out of the way, and let's cut one open here and see what we've got. Really nice and soft on the inside, but definitely cooked through. And look at that. An absolutely beautiful Bran muffin. Perfect. I'm going to give it a little taste here, see what we've got here. Oh, yeah. So good, guys. You got to make this recipe. You are going to love it. All right, let's get Tim here with me, and let's talk about the macros. We'll see you in a bit. All right, the muffins are done, and guess who's with us?
Little Red.
Little Red's back for the season. Little Red is, his outfits are furnished by Juliana at the Red Elf shop on Etsy. He has the best outfits. She has an amazing assortment of different outfits if you're doing the Elf on the Shelf.
We've been doing this for years. So there's sort of a bit of a relationship there with Juliana going on. Just super uber cute. Yeah. It's worth looking at, but I think she's got a shop on Etsy.com, right?
It's on Etsy. It's the Red Elf shop on Etsy. This went from Lex looking forward to this every year to him being too old to now being part of my classroom. Yeah. Right? My students are just like, "Where's the elf today? Could I move the?" Like it's just a big deal.
Hey,
right?
There's some kids that didn't get Little
Red,
right?
And they're kind of getting it now. So Little Red's here. He's got his own little baking thing with some donuts. He's doing his side thing. His outfits are so amazing. All right, so the muffins are done.
I see some muffins missing.
Well, Lex and I had to. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. They smell really good, right? Yeah, it smells like you're making pancakes or waffles or something, like because of the applesauce. It smells so great. So I showed you, I broke one up when we were doing it, and I showed it to the camera how good they are. I mean, look at this. Perfect little Bran muffins, right? So you haven't tried this yet, have you?
Not.
All right, so give it a shot, see what you think. Lex likes to put the milk-as butter on it, so.
Yeah. No, I'm
and
fine.
It's so good that way. But by themselves, they're pretty good too. Look at the texture. These are really nice, right? Considering the vital wheat gluten and applesauce.
They have some weight to it.
Yeah. Yeah, really good.
It's good. It's not too, Bran
it's not.
tasting. It's good. I noticed a little shimmer on the top.
For photo, I sprinkle a little brown sugar on top.
Nice, okay.
But there is the 0-calorie brown sugar in the recipe.
Okay.
So let's go over the macros. All right, so pretty good macros here, right? You get 9 muffins out of this. Now, if you make 12, you can make the smaller. The macros will be spread out about 12.
Like the mini pan.
Yeah. Well, even these, I mean, these blew up on the top. It was really nice, right?
Okay.
So the macros for 9, if you get 9 out of these, would be each one about 100 calories, 104 calories.
That's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
When at Costco, muffins like 400 or something, right?
Exactly. That's right. Protein, 8 grams of protein.
Okay.
Right, per muffin. That's pretty good. I mean, we're talking about something baked. It's not going to be amazing.
No, but
right?
for that many calories, too.
It's great. And fiber, 5 grams of fiber in this.
Nice.
Which is why we're eating in the first place. So, interesting because, Lex has some Kit Kats upstairs, and I looked at the calories on that. One Kit Kat, one package is 220-something calories. You could have both of these, right? Both of these muffins for a Kit Kat. And that's a lot of food right there. Plus, you would get both of those, you would get 16 grams of protein and 10 grams of fiber, which you're not getting with a Kit Kat. So, I love it. Yeah, I try and show him the different options. So, Bran Muffins, these are absolutely delicious. You have to try these. I mean, look at that. Look how good that looks, right? The texture is beautiful. The applesauce really makes it moist, don't you think? It really gives it something that you don't get from the egg. So, I love the vegan. Sometimes you make vegan versions of stuff, they just don't. They're dry, they crumble, they don't stay, like it's just not always pretty, especially in baking. Baking's like a science, like it's chemistry, it has to be correct, right?
I could easily see some currants going in this as well.
Yeah.
Or little oats sprinkled on top.
So I talked
you can play around with this.
For sure, and I said earlier, this is why I was making this. It's a base recipe, right? I wanted to throw walnuts on this. I wanted to, like all sorts of chocolate chips, but then Lex wouldn't have eaten them, and I wanted him to enjoy them. So, for a base recipe, this is it. You can add stuff if you want to add more calories to it, right? This isn't,
coming in at 100, for some people, there's room for that.
Yeah,
and
if you spread it out over 12, you're going to wind up being at like 75 or 80 calories each. I wanted the protein to be at least 8 grams of protein, so I condensed them into 9 muffins.
I love it.
What we got. All right, that's our video today. Beautiful Bran protein, vegan, low-calorie muffins. These are great for fiber. They're great for protein. You're absolutely going to love it. Click on that like button. Show us some love. Hit that subscribe button. Click that bell. You get notified every time we have a new video, usually every Tuesday. Leave a comment below. Let us know your thoughts.
Yeah. These came together pretty quick.
Yeah.
This is a...
They came together tonight.
Easy recipe.
It's a great way to get your fiber, right?
Yeah.
Like fiber muffins. Like, who doesn't like that? All right. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Hey, I'm Joey Troxel, and today I'm going to talk about how I went from being a short, fat guy to being much closer to my goal of looking physically fit. I'm doing this by not only monitoring my weight, but my muscle mass and my body fat too, knowing when my plans are working and knowing when I need to change things up a bit. First, let's talk about the device I'm using to help me measure my progress correctly. I absolutely love the BodyPod by Hume. It's a smart scale device that, as you can guess, tracks your body weight, but it also gives you so much more information about your body composition with a medical grade accuracy of 98%, which up until now has been unavailable to the average person. I used to pay to get Staiku, DEXA, and other 3D scans, but that wasn't really sustainable, and I could only afford them maybe once or twice a year. With the BodyPod, all of this information is accessible to me every day for less than the price I used to pay for just one scan. One of the tools this scale uses to give you such accuracy is the handle. The handle allows it to get your measurements from both your upper body and lower body, compared to most other smart scales that just use your lower body readings to approximate your measurements. Hey, not all people are the same, and we store fat differently. So, if you want to be accurate, you'll want to measure correctly and measure both the upper and lower body. The BodyPod comes with a free app that shows you a breakdown of all your metrics, and it breaks it down into measurements for each individual body part. There is a paid upgrade available, but everything I'm showing you here is part of the free app, and that's what I use for myself. The app shows you subcutaneous fat, visceral fat, muscle mass, BMR, heart rate, and so much more. It's really detailed in the amount of information it presents. You can track your patterns and changes over time to see if the number on the scale going up means you've gained more muscle and burned off some fat, or if you are truly gaining fat and need to make a change in your diet. The many different charts track lots of metrics. While I pay attention to weight, I usually closely monitor body fat percentage and lean muscle mass to make sure the weight I'm losing is fat and not muscle. You can't tell this by using a standard type scale. It just gives you a number. What does that mean? Having the body pod is a good reassurance to know that you're on the right track with muscle gain and fat loss, regardless of what the actual number on a traditional scale would normally tell you. Plus, the body pod qualifies for payment with your FSA or HSA. You can choose the flex option at the payment window. Since regular scales don't work with your body composition, they don't qualify. The body pod is linked in the description below this video, or you can check it out at myhumehealth.com. And use the code PLANTBASEDDADS at checkout. They're running a 50% off sale currently as I'm filming this video, so if you've been thinking about getting a smart scale, now is the time to check it out. Plus, with my discount link or with my code PLANTBASEDDADS at checkout, you get an extra 15% off on top of whatever special they're running at the time. Yeah, baby! The body pod has made all the difference in my journey, and now that information is accessible to you every single day.